The day is finally over. You sit down. You take a deep breath and quietly think, maybe now. Maybe now it's the time that the tears will finally come. You wait. You blink. You rub your eyes. Nothing. Your eyes stay dry. And that's when a much scarier question quietly appears. If I know the pain is real, why can't I cry? If you've ever had that moment, you're not alone. Psychologists have been trying to understand why this happens for years. And before this video ends, I'll show you why it happens. And how therapists help people reconnect with emotions that seem impossible to reach. Nobody teaches a baby how to cry. When they're hungry, they cry. When they're frightened, they cry. When something hurts, they cry. It is one of the most natural things we ever do. So what changes? Imagine a little boy falling off his bicycle. His first instinct is to cry. Someone smiles and says, "Come on, you're okay." A few years later, he hears, "Be strong. Big boys don't cry." Now, imagine a little girl. She comes home from school very sad. Someone replies, "You're too sensitive. Don't be so dramatic." Different words, the same lesson. At first, we hide them because someone tells us to. Then, we do it because it feels safer. Years pass. Life gets busier. Without realizing it, holding emotions in becomes a habit. And like any habit, the brain gets better at it. Here is where science gives us an important clue. Crying is not controlled by a single crying center in the brain. It happens when several systems work together. Some help you recognize emotion. Others regulate it. They communicate with your nervous system to produce the physical response we recognize as tears. When you spent years pushing emotions aside, your brain keeps practicing emotional control. Then stress enters the picture. Work, family, bills, responsibilities. Long periods of stress don't usually create the habit. They reinforce it. Scientists have found that prolonged stress can affect the brain networks involved in processing and expressing emotions, making those networks less responsive over time. Think of a room with a dimmer switch. The electricity is still there. The light hasn't disappeared. Someone simply turned the brightness down. Your emotions can feel the same way, still inside you, just harder to reach. That's why someone can feel overwhelming sadness and still struggle to cry. Once the person visits a therapist, they rarely begin by asking, "How do we make this person cry?" Instead, they ask, "How do we help this person feel safe enough to stop holding everything inside?" That idea surprised me. Most people think the first step is finding the emotion. Many therapists begin somewhere much simpler. They begin with safety. Imagine coming home after one of the hardest days you've had in months. Instead of reaching for your phone, you leave the room quiet. You make yourself a warm cup of tea. It's not the tea that matters, it's the message. For the first time all day, your body hears, you don't have to stay on guard anymore. You wrap yourself in a blanket. The lights are soft. Nothing needs your attention. Finally, your body gets permission to slow down. Those moments aren't designed to make you cry. They're designed to help your brain realize it doesn't have to stay on high alert anymore. Another gentle approach is reconnecting with memories that already carry emotion. A photograph you haven't seen in years. A song that reminds you of someone you love. An old letter. A saved message. You're reconnecting with feelings, that already belong to you. Another approach some psychologists recommend is writing. Take a piece of paper and spend 10 minutes writing whatever is on your mind. Don't worry about grammar. Don't stop to organize your thoughts. Let them come out exactly as they appear. Some therapists even suggest writing a letter you'll never send. To someone you miss, someone who hurt you, or even to yourself. Say everything you've been holding back. Then you can fold the paper, put it away, or even throw it in the trash. If you don't know where to begin, start with one simple sentence. For example, right now, I feel. Then keep writing without stopping for 10 minutes. And finally, protect a few minutes of silence. No scrolling, no television, no endless notifications. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. That's okay. Sometimes emotions don't need more answers. They simply need enough quiet to be noticed. People 100 years ago also carried grief, stress, and heartbreak. But when the day became quiet, it was often truly quiet. But today, people fulfill every uncomfortable feeling with endless scrolling to distract themselves. That's why something as simple as a few minutes of silence has become so powerful.